Hey, it's Mr. Lechtenberg, Principal at Chase County Schools. Shocker, here with another video. Today I want to talk to you about assignments. I got a list of things I'm going to talk about. Assignments, grades 7 through 12. So teachers will give your kids or students 7 through 12 assignments, things that they want students to do to practice and get better at the academic knowledge in which they are going to be tested over. And for the most part, most of our students do really, really good at doing what the teacher assigns and doing that in the assigned amount of time. But we know that every kid and every family has different obligations. They've got different working speeds and things like that. And so one of the things that we've come across is we have some students who struggle to get stuff turned in on time. And we have what's called a missing assignment list here at Chase County Schools. We use Infinite Campus to manage that for students grades 7, 12. So students and parents, if they have access in Infinite Campus, can log in and see what their student is missing and or not quite finished with. So I want to talk a little bit about the terminology that's used there, and then also something new we're doing is called night school, which is Mondays, every Monday from 3:30 when school dismisses until 4:30 p.m. And that's for those students who just need some extra time to come and get their work done. So that'll be a requirement starting Monday for kids that need to get some assignments done. And that was shared with students a week ago, and we went over it again today, so they know what they've got in front of them. So we'll talk about that and a little bit more. So first of all, an incomplete assignment, when a student or when a teacher assigns an assignment and let's say it's due on Tuesday, and there's 20 kids in class and 18 of them turn it in, the teacher's going to mark, assuming those kids were gone or whatever, they may mark incomplete if it's a reasonable reason why that student doesn't have it in. They missed a day of school, they were sick, ill, etc. And they'll probably leave that incomplete for a period of a day or two. If they're ill, they'll probably leave it incomplete a little longer. If it was something they just skipped school or a school activity where they knew about in advance and should have had their work done, it may not last as long as an incomplete. But when a teacher marks something incomplete, so if a student sees it as incomplete, it means it hasn't been turned in probably, or maybe it was partially turned in, but there usually isn't a grade there attached to it. So it doesn't hurt or help their grade. It just means the assignment isn't done yet, isn't turned into the teacher. Oftentimes after a day or two, sometimes right away, if the kid just hasn't, was in class and had time to do it, and just didn't do it, they might go straight to missing. But the terminology of missing still means the assignment isn't turned in, the teacher doesn't have it, and that actually assigns a 0 in the grade book. Now students can and should still turn that in, should still work hard and complete that. They will get credit for that work. The reason we switch that to missing is just because we know that students and parents and even teachers and administrators, sometimes we scroll through and we see how kids are doing, and we look at their grade, and the grade might say 95%, and we just assume that everything's fine in that class. But if we don't ever mark anything missing, and the student gets a 95 on their first assignment for the year or for the quarter, but then they don't turn in the next 4, and if they never turn those in until the grades are due on Monday or at the end of a grading period, and all of a sudden their grade drops from a 95% down to a 10% because they just haven't done any of their work, that's a shock. That's a shock to parents, it's a shock to administrators, it's a shock to the student. How does my grade go from a 95 to a 10% in just one day? What is going on? This seems unfair. And so that's why our teachers will try to keep that as up to date as possible and that missing, so that you can really see and maybe get alerted and warned a little bit that, hey, my student, my kid, or myself, if I'm the student, I got to get this stuff done. This is important. So we've been doing that. We've this semester, and our list is just trying to make kids aware. It just hasn't been working quite right. We've got a lot of kids that are still just lagging behind, getting stuff in on time. And man, and then it takes, the kid gets frustrated because, well, I turn this in and it isn't graded instantly. Well, our teachers are working super hard, super busy. They're grading things when they're due, and then if they have a bunch of stuff trickling in, and they get turned in, and on a 8 a.m. and the kid's frustrated that it's not graded by 8:05, that's just not going to happen. And so we really want to get, for the sanity of our students, for our families, for our teachers, for our entire school, we've really got to get better at getting stuff done, turning it in on time, doing our best effort. And we hope that this night school will help give kids a little more time to do that. And so Monday nights, school gets out at 3:30, and students, so today we gave a list, and every morning we give out to teachers this list of students who are missing assignments, and kids can always check it on Infinite Campus. And they know how to do that. We've talked with them. They know how to log in. They can do all that stuff. But Friday we'll send that list again, and so kids know what they're missing, and they should check that. But that doesn't mean they're guaranteed having to come Monday. But if they're still on that list by Monday, they need to come and check in with their teacher, their homeroom teacher, their night school teacher, on Monday night, and they don't have to stay necessarily till 4:30 if they get everything done. It's not a detention. It's not meant to be a punishment. It's just recognizing that some students need more time, more structure to get their work done, and that's what we're going to provide. And so that teacher or that student, let's say they have one assignment, and man, there's only 5 minutes left of it. If they're on the list to report on Monday night, they need to report. And so they would report to their teacher. They maybe have already turned it in. They've got it signed off by the teacher who says, yep, it's done now. But they need to check into that teacher right after school and say, hey, see this? I'm all done. And if they can do that right away, they're free to go to practice. They can go catch the bus maybe, even if they have time, catch the ride, not even have an issue. But the key is, if this seems frustrating to students or parents, talk to your student about staying off this list. Getting your work done on time, never get put on the list, never have to worry about it. And that's where probably 80% of our students are going to find themselves, is that they're doing their stuff and it's not a major worry for them. Now, let's say a student has a bunch of assignments, and man, it's going to take them multiple times. That you don't have to wait till Monday. Okay, teachers are available before school, after school, set up something. They are here to help you, and they want you to learn. They want you to get your stuff done. So you can still set up as a student, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, mornings, afternoons to get these things done. But if they're not done, Monday night is the time when you need to be there, even if you're coming in Tuesday. Well, great, but you got to come Monday also. And maybe you won't have to come Tuesday because you got all done Monday. So 4:30 or get everything done. Okay, so it's 4 o'clock, everything's done, you sign out, you can go. Most teachers, if the teacher's around and you're really on a roll and you got one last thing and man, I just think I could get this done, you'll be allowed to stay till after 4:30 if in most cases, unless the teachers need to get going. But we really want to get our assignments caught up. Tutors, Mr. Herbert's talked to a couple students, a couple of our older students, and maybe sometimes we'll have some younger students too, but I know we have a couple people lined up that are going to be available on these nights for tutoring. And they may not know exactly what was covered, but they're upper level students as far as grade wise, and they may be able to, especially in the middle school, provide some tutoring and help get some assignments done. And so there'll be some tutors available. If you're interested if you do well in school and get your assignments done and things like that and want to help out, we will offer community service hours for doing that tutoring towards our graduation requirements of community service hours. That can help out some students. So Mr. Herbert, our guidance counselor, will manage the tutoring segment of this program. So if you're interested in tutoring, talk to Mr. Herbert. And our tutors will kind of float around and see where they're going to be. So if you have questions about this, please call me at the school, 882-4304. This may come as a frustration for some that they want their kid to ride the bus every day, or they don't. It's inconvenient if the kid's late for practice, and I agree. I don't want it to be inconvenient for anybody. Let's work together to get these students on track and passing and doing their work. If you're looking, if this has you wondering, is this in policy? Is this in the handbook? No, it's not. This is evolving as based on student needs and what they need to be successful. There's a few of them that need some more time and some more structure, so we're providing that. So no, it's not in board policy. No, it's not in student handbook. Yes, it's legal. Yes, it's fine. Yes, we can require students to stay after. And again, we just want to help as best we can. And sometimes help can feel inconvenient. So if you have any questions, concerns, get a hold of us. We want to help you out as best we can. If you've got a family commitment on a Monday night or something, we'll reschedule and we'll have students come in early or stay late. But for the most part, for ease of management, Monday night's going to be our night. And then some students may need to be assigned more time than that, but we're going to start with one night a week and just see how it goes. And we'll try to, athletics and things like that, we'll hold them out of practice for this, but we're not going to, assuming they're doing well and doing what they're supposed to do, we're not going to make them miss a game or something if there's a Monday night game, or a Monday night concert or something that's school related. We're not going to try to hold them out of that unless they have developed a pattern of skipping or a pattern of not doing their work. But for the most part, we're gonna treat your kid as fairly as they earn, and whatever seems appropriate to help them get on track is what we want to do. So again, I set a record for longest video. If anybody's still listening, high five to you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your commitment to our school and to our students. We've got a great staff here who's busting their tail to try to keep everything going, and they're doing great. So let's help them out by getting stuff turned in on time. Thank you, students. Thank you, parents. Thank you, community members. Thanks, teachers. Have a super duper day.